First off, congratulations to NC State. They did a really good job there, especially in the second half, coming back and being able to make the plays that were necessary to win the game. It's a locker room, staff, football team that's hurting. To come out and the work and the investment that was put in, and throughout the game there were so many swings of emotion, swings of momentum. And, it was a college football game that it was tough. I mean, it was a physical game. Ultimately, we made a lot of mistakes there in the second half that we've got to be able to overcome. It's everybody. I just told the team, that outcome is 100% on me for us to come out in the second half. And we just had missed opportunities. They did a great job changing up a few things, creating some pressures. They made tackles when they needed to make them. They were able to defend the pass. They were able to get some positive gains there in the run game. Had a couple of explosives that showed up, a couple penalties that assisted drives. Moving down the field. It was just everything that could go wrong really in the second half really showed up, and ultimately to come up short like that was just incredibly disappointing. And, you got to give credit to them and for what they did and how they executed. It's a football team and staff and I hurt for them and I hurt with them, but just disappointing that we came up short in that one. So, questions?
On the last interception, did Jordan not see what they were doing, or was the route not run right? Or?
Had one-on-one coverage. The guy jumped outside and rerouted Micah. Micah, then he slipped inside as Jordan was letting go of the ball, and the guy fell off and made the interception. So it was something that's it was a timing throw, and the guy plays catch coverage as it just kind of forced Micah inside and the ball went outside, and that's where same exact thing that we scored a touchdown on in the first half. Guy caught Micah and his ball left Jordan's hand, and saw the result.
Offensively in the second half, what was it that they were doing that was causing you guys so many issues to sustain drives?
We missed some opportunities. They were doing a good job in varying their what they were doing. I mean, they were changing a few things in the run game with their fits, and obviously how they were presented. And we missed some opportunities, and trying to keep a balance of being able to attack in the run game, and we weren't having the positives in the run game. There against a couple of different looks, and weren't very good on third downs, being able to sustain drives to ever really get into a rhythm. And they did a good job balancing. I mean, from max pressures, zero out blitzes to rolling coverages, which is we knew it was a good defense. We knew it was a good team and well-coached team. But obviously we weren't able to get anything established in any rhythm there in the second half, which makes it challenging.
How much did you at all, I guess, go back and forth about settling for the field goal versus trying for the touchdown? You know the risks with some of the Ryan struggles, but you also know, I guess, the risk of going for the touchdown.
I mean, you got man-to-man coverage, and that's where we went. I mean, we had 5 different options on the play, and depending on the look of what it's going to be. So, I was good with really anything that came within the different options in that play, and we went and took the one-on-one. The defensive back jumped to the outside, caught Micah, and it disrupted it. And, of those things that, it just, the guy made a good play.
On Alex's penalty, does he have an option there to fake it, or what was the play there?
No, it was, I think they were bringing, they brought an extra hat off the, off one side. I think it just flashed in front of him, and he started to go. And, I appreciate our defense really rose up in that moment and did a great job of forcing them back. And the guy made whatever it was 56-yard field goal to go up. Our guys responded really well in the situation, and they made a play to get 3 points off of it. But I just think that was something that happened where Alex he got sparked and started to run, and then just kind of probably lost bearings of where he was.
For the second straight week, a team opened the second half with a relatively easy touchdown drive, as far as not facing a third down and such. Commonalities between the last 2 weeks, and how concerning is that just to allow that out of the locker?
You don't ever want to give up a drive or a scoring drive. So they went in, they made a few adjustments, they were able to run the ball, they hit a couple plays, and that was their touchdown drive. And when it comes to a close game, every play, every point matters, and we got to obviously we had to do a better job coming out, but they did a good job of making a few adjustments, and ultimately we were able to go down and score.
On that last interception, is that something that the DB doesn't usually do? Is that on that to go outside like that? Because just like the way you talk about it, you seem like that was kind of remarkable that he did that, or wasn't very expected at all for him to go outside on that.
Well, he played catch coverage. He did a good job. I got to watch it. I just know I looked at Micah. The guy jumped and grabbed him in part of his route. Now, that's part of the game, and certain things just presents challenges.
Did you get an explanation on why Farmer? I mean, I know it was a hard hit. Why he got penalized for that?
I know what it was said, but I think it was awful. But I mean, they said it was that I disagreed with it. So.
We've seen so many highs from the receivers, and the drops just kind of felt like they were mounting today. Is that something that contagious? And I guess, what do you talk to a group that really felt like it was feeling its first adversity of the season?
There's times when you feel, as I always say to the team, the momentum affects the teams that allow it to affect them. And when you start feeling that press, we talked a little bit about it last week, and when you need a play, or you have that spark, and just in those moments, you got to trust and rely on your fundamentals. You got to go out there and execute and be who you are and what it's all about. Capitalize on those opportunities, and we had some missed ones today. And whenever you're facing things that when that adversity does show up and you're facing those moments, I mean, that's where we need to rise up and make those plays, which we've made a lot of them this year. I wouldn't say it's necessarily contagious, because there's, I've seen those guys respond in tough situations before, but today there was, it was definitely a factor, especially some of those critical situations to be able to extend a drive that we didn't have.
There were a couple of other penalties after plays, things like that. I guess how disappointing is that frustration is kind of take over?
I mean, it's it all matters. I mean, we have a 3rd down and 1 that gets turned into a 3rd and 16. That's a game-changing play, and all the right intentions, and we cannot do things that extend drives. We cannot do things that put us behind the change drives, and that's what the second half was. It really, these guys work extremely hard, and we talk about the focus, we talk about the details, we talk about the overall execution that's going to be necessary when you're playing a good team. And these last 2 weeks we played good teams. That's a good football team, and for us, you can't do the things that stack you behind, whether it's missed opportunities, whether it's lack of communication, whether it's a penalty that goes against you, and when those things show up, I mean it matters. In a one-score game, in a tight game where 15 yards is a pretty big difference in tonight's outcome, and we just have to be better when it comes to that.
Anything else?
You talked about the defense a little bit, and I know, I mean, they were on the field, I feel like, for almost 20 minutes of kind of game action in the second half. What can you say about the, I mean, chance after chance they gave you to kind of go in that game, even with a lot of guys who went down as the game went on?
Yeah, I mean, our defense was on the field, way too much in the second half, because we didn't establish or sustain drives, there offensively, and it's one of those things that we got a bunch of guys banged up tonight, and it's been a part of this season so far, and it's all just random things that have happened, and it's just I mean they showed great heart and toughness, and they battled and fought. I mean, I thought after the penalty where we get they had the ball inside whatever it was, the 20-yard line, to be able to move them back to whatever it was, a 4th and 40 or something like that, and the guy makes a 56-yard field goal. I mean, it's a job well done by them, but you see our defense, I mean they're competitors, they're tough. I mean this is a football team of competitors. Nobody wanted to experience coming up short in that game. I can dang sure tell you that it's not from a lack of work or want to. Just we had some critical mistakes, that showed up, and it's everybody involved. Like I told you, I mean, I have to be better for this football team, and it's just that it's disappointing to see us come up short, because I know as a coaching staff and everything that we're doing, and we're pouring it in to take that step right there in that moment, and we've seen a lot of good. We've seen a lot of things that have grown and have gotten better within this team, but ultimately there's a lot of plays, especially there in that second half, that kept us from what we could have accomplished tonight.
All right, Carter, last one.
Now that you guys are halfway through the season, after having a loss like this, how do you respond? How would you like to see your team respond last half of the
I want to
season?
see them continue to fight, continue to believe, go showcase your identity. That's what I just told. Was what I told them in there. It's you go through life, and everybody wants it to go pretty smooth. I absolutely was 100% confident we're going to come in here and we're going to find a way to win that game, and that did not happen. But I believe in this team. I believe in the work that we do. I believe in the young men I get to coach, and I believe in the staff I get to work with. Right, that we will respond in a way that's going to showcase the identity of this team, of this team, of this group. Right, we represent an incredible university, and I know there's a lot of people disappointed, with the outcome that we've seen here the last 2 weeks, but there's nobody more disappointed than us. And ultimately, we have an incredible opportunity to be able to rise up, to go push forward, to go get better, and to put on display the DNA and the culture and values of this football team. And I've got great confidence in how these guys are going to respond to it, and we're going to continue to work to be our best in everything that we do.